Welcome back to the Xavier Builds podcast. We're putting positivity back into construction, one conversation at a time. Today's guest, Jake Plunkett, founder of Grindstones Reflections, one of Canberra's top polished concrete specialists, known for his eye for detail, deep trade knowledge, and commitment to doing things properly. Jake has carved out a name in high-end concrete flooring, literally. Here he is, Jake Plunkett. Mate, great to have you here.
Great to be here. I'm pretty excited to sit down and talk all things construction and all things what we do. And deep dive on what it's like to run Grindstones Reflections.
Really happy to have you, mate. I've been really looking forward to this catch up, and your messages to me last night, I think, it added to that. And we're both saying we were nervous before we jumped in here, which I think is a good feeling, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's good. I'm a bit of like an enthusiast and an optimist, and I get like pretty worked up and excited about things. So I know that we haven't met, and this is like, I've known you for about 10 minutes, but through connections and other people, I feel like
it's going to be
good things will come from it.
It's going to be a good chat. Mate, I want to hear your story. Like, where'd you start out? What's the go? How'd you get into doing what you're doing?
So first of all, I want to say one thing, and I watch a lot of podcasts, and I absolutely love podcasts, and a lot of them start off with GIFs. So
here we go.
Tradition. And the reason that I'm doing it is because I understand it's really difficult to run a business, and it's really difficult to get culture right. And I've just worked with your company, with the boys at ACT Landscaping, and I can feel your culture. It's also really easy to have ideas, but hard to execute on them. And you're here executing on a podcast is something that a lot of people would have thought about, but they haven't stood up and actually done it. So I just want to say, like, congratulations, thank you, and well done for doing that.
Thanks, mate.
So,
I got chills with that. Really appreciate it.
So that's the Grindstones Reflections 2025 barbecue spatula, mate.
That is awesome, dude.
I wanted to go up in the studio room, mate.
Mate, that's gonna be hanging right there, I think. Thank you very much for that.
So Innovative Metalworks did that for us. And each year with the employees, I want to do like something cool. So I got custom ones made for all of the boys.
Mate, I'm blown away. That's hectic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so let's riff. Let's do it.
So yeah, tell us about your story.
So
really, it's not about me, it's about you.
My story it starts a long time ago. Grindstones Australia started in 2000 in Canberra, so nearly 25 years ago. That was my father's company, and his business partner was Alan Wormwood. They were absolute innovators in the industry. They bought machinery very early. It was very expensive, and no one knew how to polish concrete. So I remember being there when new machinery would arrive, or when they would take on big jobs, and I'd go out to site. I'd help on jobs. I remember sleeping out in a swag on a job on school holidays because I just had to be with Dad. It was like my chance to be with Dad, and it was like I was immersed in the polished concrete industry and Grindstones Australia. So I always thought that that's what I was going to do. I felt a drive towards being a part of that company. And the day that I finished college, I just went like all in. I was like, I want to fully commit to this. I want to learn as much as I possibly can. And I really got an understanding on how to polish concrete at an early stage. So yeah, that was my first commitment to polish concrete.
Well, I will say you have a fantastic reputation.
Yeah.
You know, when you hear polished concrete, you know, your name comes up here in every conversation.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that the passion there, obviously, and just meeting you for the first moment, like, mate, I can tell how passionate you are about it. And you've got all this stuff going on. And you know, your social media as well, I think is really, really cool in that you're so open and honest about where you're at and what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it all starts to make sense for me now. You've been around the polishing game for your whole life.
Yeah, I have. Grindstones Reflections was born out of like, so it's two things. Reflections is what you're looking at when you polish a floor. At the end of the job, when you stand back and you look at a floor, you know how well it's been polished by the flatness of the surface. So if there's ups and downs or ripples in the floor, you can see that in the reflection. So reflections, that was one part of it, but it's also a reflection of my whole life. It's like when I was a kid, I was around polished concrete, like I was around grinding. As soon as I turned 18, I was out of school and I was into flooring, and everything that I learned, everything that happens to me in my life, every positive thing, every negative thing, every struggle makes me who I am, and then that's a reflection out into the business. So like I am open and honest and transparent, and I do all of those things because Grindstones Reflections is like who I am. It's like a reflection of me.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
it's really cool.
Well, I saw one of your floors recently for a client we worked together who's actually my accountant. And he took me on a big tour of his house. And it looks fantastic, mate.
Yeah, nice.
It had the hydronic system in it. It was a really, really, really nice floor. And, you know, he's walking around telling me, it was Jake. Jake Plunkett did this, you know. So, tip of the hat to you there, mate.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wait, who was that?
That's Frankie.
Oh, Frankie. Yeah,
that's
wait, you guys did the landscaping there as well.
Yeah,
beautiful floor, beautiful people, and really good builder, Classic Construction. So we do a lot of we do all their polished concrete, and they're a great company to work with. And they're really good because they work with like quite high-end clients, and so we get to work with like custom mixes all the time. And so we get to like bring these beautiful custom design mixes to life.
Cara White on that one?
Yeah, it was.
I remember
it was a banger.
Yeah,
it was so good, man. Love it. That floor was such a big thing for our company because I was busy. I'm trying to think what I was doing. I was running one project, but I had the boys set up on that job, and so I didn't touch that floor. So that was done by employees, and that was huge for us. I was like, this is like a 3-level split home. It is like incredibly beautiful.
It's a monster.
And like for me, it's been really difficult at times to detach from doing all the work. I'm like, I want to be on that grinder. But that one was like, that was all the boys, and they executed to absolute perfection. It was probably one of the best floors I've seen.
It looks really good.
Yeah, really nice floor.
So tell me about your team. Who have you got working for you?
So there's a team there's Tom, Eric, Brendan, which is my dad. He's back working with us now as well, and he has been for a while. Myself, and then I have someone doing administration, virtual assistant, and then we have a casual that we tap into every now and then. We've got the ability to scale up. So when we win like commercial projects and when we've got big jobs on, we can usually bring in a couple of contractors who
help
out as well. Yeah. Yeah, so it's good. One thing I'll note about Grindstones Australia as well is I didn't realize at the time, but we were working on like the most prestigious builds in Canberra. Like we did like War Memorial. We're working on like National Arboretum, Margaret Whitlam. We're working Portrait Gallery, Museum. What else?
The biggest places you've heard of.
Man, like all of, like every like big government job that was getting done. Like I was a part of that through Grindstones Australia. And now that I have my business, and it was literally a reset. Like when I started Grindstones Reflections, I didn't even know how to send an invoice. Like I literally didn't know what I was doing. And so
you had to learn that business side.
I had to learn the business side. So the last 3 years has been building that knowledge up and building that base up. And I'm like, just like right on that point where I think we're going to start to tap back into all those big projects, which is like super exciting.
And why did you start your own type of thing? Was it time to do it?
It was
hard decision. The right decision.
It was a couple of reasons. It was time for Dad and his business partner to go separate ways. I think they were ready to split the business, and they were at a point in their life where they were ready to make changes with what they were doing. It was timing was critical because we've been doing it for such a long time, and it was like something has to come next. Like I don't want to work for someone else right now if it's not my company. Like I spent 10 years on a grinder or on a hand grinder thinking about how I'd run my own business. So I was like,
let's do it.
Like, let's do it right now. And so it was like I really wanted to execute on everything that I'd learned, but I wanted to also grow and learn and do it individually for myself. And then, now I've got a team that are doing that as well. Yeah,
big leap. And I'm thankful that you did it, mate, because I think you find out a little bit more about yourself when you start your own show and you start to get into it. You know what I mean?
100%. You do. You learn so much. It's an incredible journey of growth. It's like personal development. It is challenging. It's exciting. It's hard sometimes, but I've really enjoyed doing it. So it's been good.
Yeah. I was actually just talking to a guy that left me at the start of the year to start his own thing. And
Oh,
he's
interesting.
Like, I want to catch up for a coffee, mate. You know, okay, yeah, sure. Like, hope you're going well. And I think it just does come down to that. Sometimes it's just your time, and you need to back yourself and have a go.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've been thinking about this morning. Like, like, where's that fine line between motivating and bringing up your employees as well, and then thinking like, oh, maybe they'll start their own thing. And it's like, I want to create an environment where I'm just like building people up, building them up so that they're like continuing to grow and not putting a ceiling on them. And I was thinking like, if they do go and they do start their own thing, like you just have to support that and be a part of that because you actually know what's involved. And it's like, it's not easy. Like it's not easy at all. It's a very difficult thing to do. So yeah, I think about that sort of.
It is a difficult thing. And it is, you know, being a business owner, it's always in the back of your mind, right? My sort of philosophy on it is put so much time and effort in, do the absolute best by everyone you're working with. And, you know, if they decide to leave, then it was their time to leave. I don't expect everyone to work for me for their whole life, you know. That'd be unrealistic.
My thought is to, and this was like one thing that I said to myself very early, like, how can I create the best environment for people to thrive in?
That's right.
And it's like, if I don't have a ceiling on employees or people in the company, like, let's bring them up with the business. Like, as you learn new things, as you teach new people, like, economic benefits come from that. Like, how can I create a good environment for you to do really well in and not have to take on the stresses that I had when I was working for someone else?
Exactly.
It's like, let's make this environment as good as we possibly can so that we're not competition.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
So that's
and if we are competition, I will crush you. Mate, tell me about what drives you. Obviously, you're very passionate, but like, what gets you up in the morning? What are you working towards? Like, what are your goals?
What drives me? I'm on a huge like personal journey, and that personal journey is a reflection then into my business. So what drives me? I want to continue to better myself, and I want to continue to align myself with the person that I want to be. Like, I want to align with my morals and my priorities and just continue to do good things. So like this year, 5 months ago, I like completely stopped drinking. I stopped doing anything that was going to negatively affect me internally. And I made a massive commitment to just prioritizing my kids, my business, and my health. And so like having that new priority, that new outlook on life, that's what has been such a big driver and such a big game changer for me. It's like, I know that I have good opportunities with my business. So every day I get up, I'm excited and I'm passionate and I'm like, let's go, let's do this. Like, I want to continue to work on my business, work in my business, like do these things to make it grow. So that's a really big driving force for me. The better I feel internally, the more good things that I do with my business, with my health, with my kids, just the better that I feel. So I feel like I'm on like this like destiny, like this path, and that's energizing and motivating, and it just makes me want to keep going and doing more.
Mate, meeting you for the first time, I kept saying this. You're an infectious guy. Like, yeah, and it sort of exudes from you that you're on this path, and that, you know, yeah, it's like almost everything's going for you, and you're going in the right direction for you, I should say, and. You know,
it's really interesting.
But you're doing all the stuff so that it is.
I am.
You know?
I'm doing the stuff, but I don't like. I don't get shook by negative things. Like it might look like the energy's all going forward, but it's like my attitude towards whatever happens is positive. So, it's curious, or it's an opportunity, or it's like, okay, let's learn, let's pivot, let's do this. So like. It doesn't matter if something really bad happens tomorrow. I'm like, let's get through it. Like, this is sick. Like, let's go. So,
where did that come from? Did you have an epiphany and you just or was it just an evolution?
You know what? It comes from struggle. It probably comes from having stages of my life where I wasn't where I didn't feel like that. Like, I went through a separation like 2.5, 3 years ago. And that was like right at the same time that I was starting out my business, very similar timing. And like, I had 2 young kids, and I was like just really struggling like every day. Like, it was just like mentally just like slapping me. And one thing that I did is just like start to learn and educate myself and start to be curious and try to put together like a worldview of how I want to hold myself, how I want to be, how I can look at negative things and then turn them into a positive. And it's created a lot of gratitude for the position that I'm in. So it's like the worst thing in my mind at 2 or 3 years ago was like going through a separation. But I now look at that as like, that was something that had to happen in my life for me to be authentically who I want to be. And so it's like the biggest negative I've now turned into a positive. So like that's who I am as a person now. Like negative things happen and it's like whatever, like I'm going to learn from this. Like there's good things to learn from this situation. So
Push forward.
I just don't feel shook by things anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's really good.
That's just shows like massive like personal growth and just
Yeah.
I guess confidence in yourself and
yeah.
you know to get through.
Yeah.
That's
been-
sick, man.
Yeah, it's cool. It's good.
One of the big things we talk about in this podcast is, you know, what do people do for themselves to avoid burnout and what do they do to, you know, I guess what and make sure that they're functioning,
Mhm.
you know, at a high capacity, because running a business or, you know, being an innovator in what you're in or being a politician, it's high stress,
Yeah, it's
you
full.
know, full on stuff.
Yeah.
What are the kind of things that you do to, I guess, keep yourself grounded? And we're not sticking to this at all.
We don't care, mate.
I'm just so
That's just
intrigued. I'm just so intrigued.
So this links into Tom Henderson, 35 Degrees.
Yeah,
he was my
legend.
first, love him. He's a top bloke, hey. When I did my first ever project for them, and I remember it was quite early in my biz. Oh, it was probably like 2 years ago. And I looked up on the wall and he had their like values as a company. And I'm standing there and I'm reading it and I'm like, this is so good. Like, I want this in my company. And like, I would go and talk to his employees and I could feel their culture. Like the way that he's acted and the way that he's created culture in that company, like it's not just writing on the wall, like it's a feeling. And so I like really connect with those people. And on that particular job, I connected with Tom really like quite well and deeply. And he's like, oh, why don't you come along and do some breath work? And I was sort of like,
The happiness
yeah,
program.
yeah, the happiness program. And I was like, I'm struggling right now, like mentally, like I was. Like it was the same time that I was going through like that sort of separation and stuff and working through my belief systems and all these different things. And I was like, I'm just going to go. And I went there and I did a 3-day course with Tom and it was eye-opening to say the least. And it just taught me like a little bit of a framework and understanding of breath work and trying to like just come back to self and like just being able to calm my nervous system down and just be in a stressful situation, just have control of that. And that was just the starting point for breath work for me. I sort of stopped that program as such. I wasn't doing my daily work, but I deep dived into some other stuff. So I mention all of that because the things that stop me from having burnout is every morning I do meditation and breath work. So I've been doing that for like 6 months now, but I've sort of been on that journey for a couple of years. I also have a real commitment to like fitness. So like at the moment I have a hip injury from doing too much running, but I do go to the gym. I'm like always at the gym, going to the gym and
Just have that breakaway from work.
have the breakaway from work and the detachment. And
detachment.
the key thing I think is I have my kids 50-50. So the week that I have my kids, I do 9 a.m. drop-offs and 3 p.m. pickups.
Yep.
So I don't like have a choice, like, and I know how I want to hold myself as a dad. I want to be present. I want to be really connected with my kids. And sometimes that's hard because you're thinking about work, but also I have the ability now to like just detach from work. Like 50% of the time I have my kids and they're my priority. And then the other 50% of the time I go a bit crazy and I work hard.
Yeah, you make up for it.
So it's like a
pendulum.
It's funny. I've thought about that. It doesn't sound like it's balanced, but it's my idea of balance now. So it's like I'm getting my priorities in, and although like I'm still like working hard or my brain's like fixated on work or it's like always go, 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 I think that I have those strategies in place, or I have a good enough relationship with myself now that I don't let work like phase me too much. So yeah, maybe I'll burn out soon. Who
Yeah.
knows?
I don't, mate. It sounds like you got a good handle of it, and you're thinking introspectively, and you're analysing yourself, which I think is really positive.
Yeah, reflections. I like to reflect as well.
Right, we're gonna get back on track. We're gonna talk about
Let's go.
industry insight. This is the deep dive.
Yeah.
Mate, what is broken in the construction game right now?
Ooh. I'm not that well versed on this compared to say like what you guys would be. I'm like a part of the polishing industry, but I don't have a trade background. So like if I look at it, and I only know that because I don't want to pretend that I know a lot of stuff about what's broken in the construction industry. But from a broad view and just like my simple perspective would be that obviously there's a lot of red tape and bureaucracy and bullshit, and it's slowing down the approval system, approvals process. It would be that, and I feel this at times, that a lot of things are based off a spreadsheet. They're based off like let's understand our business, but let's work to every dollar in the business as well. So you're going in, you're tendering against competitors, or you're going in to win jobs, and like a lot of it's about bottom dollar. And when things are about bottom dollar and people are in working hard and have pressure on them to meet the demands to make money or have a profitable business, it can change the culture in your company. So I think that because things are bottom dollar oriented, a lot of things are, people are going in and winning work and not having much margin in the projects. And then they're working their employees hard, and employees aren't necessarily having a good time. And that sounds like a little thing, but it's actually huge, because if someone doesn't have a good relationship with work, or they're rushing to do work and they're not doing good quality work, they don't have pride in their work. They go home feeling grumpy. They might go home feeling angry. They don't have a good relationship at home, all those sorts of things. It can create like a really toxic environment for the construction industry.
Mate, you're 100% right there.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good insight you brought in. And part of the reason I started this podcast was obviously from the TikTok inspector.
Yeah.
Coming to Canberra, it just made me rage.
Yeah.
But I look at the jobs that he goes and looks through, and I always ask myself the question, like, why?
Yeah.
What, like, some of them you can blatantly see they just don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right? But others you just see, this was just so rushed.
Yeah.
And why was it rushed? Like, what's blown out here? What's happened?
money.
Yeah. And I think the point you're trying to make is that we need to change the culture in construction to be more about quality outcome, less than about bottom dollar. Because if you've got two quotes here, and one's say 10% more than the other, and they pick the one that's, the cheaper price, let's call it, but then this company here, stuffs everything up, they're going to pay way more to fix that.
Yeah, correct.
Or so on and so forth,
And like just that, like the culture thing is interesting. Like how can we create an environment where more people have pride in their work so that we're doing better quality work like that? I think that's important. And like maybe for some businesses, and because we're working towards bottom dollar, that's not important. And I think that that's like something that, it would be good to see it change.
Definitely. And how do we bring overall, how do we bring the cost of construction down? And when I say that, I mean, how do we make the people that are doing the right thing, that are taking care and that are, doing those extra little things along the way, cleaning up after themselves, how do we make them, their pricing a bit cheaper so that people can actually get value for money and it's not that bottom dollar?
Yeah. I'm a big believer in like technology and like innovation. So like things are going to change at some point. Like usually things have to get really bad before people decide I'm done. And then that's when the change happens. So that's probably like a reflection of this podcast. You know what I mean? You're like, I'm sick of this shit. Like I'm going to make change. Yeah. And it's like the same thing will happen in the industry at some point. Like enough people are going to hear this podcast or see what's happening in the industry and be like, we're done. Like we have to make change. Like I know a lot of old school builders, and I'm connected with a fair few of them due to the relationships that were created from Grindstones Australia. Because like, my dad's like he's old school.
Yeah. They got their own clique.
They got their own clique, man. Yeah. Like we're the new generation. Like I'm young. I'm only 29. So I'm like the even younger generation. But a lot of those builders are just like, I'm not building anymore. They're just like, why would I build? Like I've made money. I've done well doing what I'm doing. Like this is bullshit. Like the dollar's not in it to do it anymore. I'm like, how toxic is that for an industry?
Yeah,
that's not good.
And we're supposedly to be in a housing crisis.
Housing crisis
Doesn't make sense to me.
No, it doesn't. I'm considering building and I'm not doing it. I'm just like, I'm not interested in doing it now. Like I've heard too much about it. I'll take my time. I'll think about it all a little bit more. But when I was younger, I was always like, I want to build a house. Like build a house. And like I've done a renovation on a house and all those sorts of things. But at the moment, I'm like, I don't feel that comfortable with where it is. I don't think that I want to spend that much money on one.
And there's a lot of people in the same boat.
Yeah.
That's why the housing numbers are down so far.
Yeah.
You know, I look at the government at the moment, I feel like they're going to build all these houses so that people can live in them. It's like, we've got a construction sector here that can do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you made things easier and I guess talk to the construction, and they're trying. But it's just happening slowly.
Yeah.
But what's working well in the industry, do you think?
Oh, this open communication, collaboration, new wave of people who aren't like closed books and like holding all their cards to their chest. I feel like it's like a win society at the moment where people are just open to like making each other's lives better. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's completely different. And
there is a change happening.
Mate.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have too many good conversations like this, maybe not in so much depth, but I'm having conversations like this all the time with like builders or new people that we onboard, or like all these relationships where like people want to feel better, people want to do better, people want to help other people, and it's like inspiring. It makes you want to be a part of this industry, and it's truly exciting. I think a big change as well, and maybe it's in my direct group of influence or the people that I hang around with, but a lot of people are giving the piss the miss. A lot of people are stopping drinking. A lot of people are focusing on their health. A lot of people are more educated and there's less stigma around mental health. And I think that that's like an extremely positive thing for the industry. It's like if we can make the industry feel like a safer place to be, or we can make it look like there's people in there who are like healthy or like striving to be better or want to help you, then people on the outskirts, on the peripherals are going to look in and go, shit, I want to be a part of that. Like I want to be a part of that industry, and that's exciting. So it's good to be a part of it.
I definitely, there is a shift in that drinking culture and, you know, that old school mentality, you know, hit the pub straight after work.
She'll be right, mate.
She'll be right, mate. Yeah. And I am excited for that. And I think that's a part of attracting, you know, young people and people in general to the construction industry, in that, hey, this is really cool.
It's cool.
Industry to work in, and this is why it's cool.
Yeah.
And you don't have to, I guess, fit that old mold of, you know, hit the pub straight after, get home at, you know, whatever time it is. And yeah, it's more about, you know, that lifestyle of being outside, looking after your health and doing a good job. Well, that's what I think it should be about, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good. I think it's trade dependent or like skill dependent as well. Like there's different groups of like some of the like concreters, like bricklayers, like some of those like little subcultures of the construction industry, it might be more prevalent there. And it's because they have to work so hard, man.
It is.
That is the culture, and it's like it's really difficult work. So I think like one person at a time, maybe this podcast or someone listens to it might it can plant a seed. There's just like those little seeds that get planted, and it can happen on the job site, or you can just look at someone who's doing well and be like, oh, what shifts have they made? And this is happening to people in my close friendship group now, where like I've stopped drinking and they're starting to stop as well. And I'm like, man.
Yeah.
How good's this?
Yeah.
Like I'm only doing it because I saw someone else do it, or because I've been a part of networks where people aren't doing it, and it's made them feel better, and I've seen how well they're doing. So like, how can we like shift that culture to make everyone be a bit more like, to think about what they're doing and be excited about how they could feel 6 months from now if they continue to do the right thing.
There's definitely that new generation coming through as well that aren't drinking as much, because going out, drinks are so expensive.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure when you and I were, or when you were at Mooseheads, like there was $2 shots or $2 drinks for hour of power.
Yeah.
You know? And all that's not around anymore.
No,
you
it's
know?
not.
And it's like, I don't want to go out and spend $250 that, you know, I don't have.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
100%.
And I think that's where the shift is coming through. And I think that the older, say our generation is catching up to that as well, and going, there's better things out there. We're just conditioned to just go, that's how you have a good time.
Yeah.
But now we're finding, well, you know, let's not do that.
So it's really funny that the older generation actually sometimes has to catch up to the yeah, they have to catch up to the younger generation. Like when you said that. So for example, like there'll be a culture shift down low, and like the older generation will like look down and be like, but then eventually it catches up.
Yeah, think about
It's
Facebook when that
Yeah,
came out,
man.
you know?
TikTok, bro.
Yeah, TikTok, all of that sort of stuff. And now you see that's really catching on.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the construction industry can do better as a whole? And I think my take on it is communication. I think
Communication, yeah. My network and communication is a key pillar of success for us. So we communicate really well. So like I don't have relationships where communication is a bad thing. So I wouldn't comment on that. One thing I think we could do better is tap into the support networks that are actually there on the fringes and like around the industry. So I'll go into this. I'll go into it now. Assist training, which is applied suicide intervention and skills training. That's something that I recently did with the I Got You Foundation.
Yeah.
Dan, the plant man, talked about OzHelp in your podcast.
He did, yeah.
And he mentioned that they disappeared and it'd be great if there was like another one that was sort of like stepping up. The I Got You Foundation actually just bought all of OzHelp's training programs and they're coming in place.
Fantastic.
I believe that they're going to be what OzHelp was at some point. And why I say this, and I'll try and loop it all together, is that the I Got You Foundation was started after Josh Clark committed suicide. His two younger sisters and mum started it, and I Got You is something that he would always say to his mates, and he was from the trade industry. And they put me through, because I'm a major sponsor of theirs. I've been a major sponsor for the last 2 years of their big fundraiser night through the assist training. And while we're at the assist training, it's essentially a 2-day course for 7 hours each day where you learn a framework on how to intervene in saving someone's life or putting a safety plan in place so that somebody doesn't choose to commit suicide. So it gives you a framework of like spotting potential signs or like seeing that someone's not okay, and then gives you like ideas on like how to find out about their story, how to ask a direct question if that's something that they're considering doing, and then continuing to prompt them and talk to them and then helping them find a turning point and putting a plan in place so that they don't decide to take their life. And like this training was like truly incredible for me. It created like, it sent me crazy. I couldn't sleep for 2 nights because I was like, I want to change the industry. Like I want to get involved with this. I want to like do all these different things and try and bring everyone through it. And anyone in a position of leadership should be doing this training. And then I realized like I am so busy. And even if I committed all of my resources right now and all of my time to this, if everyone in the industry just did a little bit, then say like you, for example, like I'll call you out now. Like I think that leaders in your business should go and do the assist training. And then we can make big shifts and changes in culture. And I'll loop this up. So when we were there was an exercise that we did where they got everyone who was doing the training to stand up and represent a different institution or support network that's there for the construction industry in the ACT. So someone would stand up and represent, like I'm representing the I Got You Foundation. I'm representing Men's Link. And there was 24 of us in the room, and I think like 21 people stood up to represent it, and we had a list. So like the list said like, and you would say like the list would say Men's Link, and you'd be like, I'm going to stand up for Men's Link because I'm here to support people who are struggling with mental health. And I just didn't stand up for any of them because I didn't know any of them. And so I think a thing that the construction industry could improve on at the moment is like tapping into all of these people that are actually there for us that we don't know about yet. So yeah, that's something that I'm passionate about.
I think I'm really happy you brought that in, actually.
Yeah.
I'm really happy you brought that up, because one of the things that the construction industry is marred with is young guys in particular taking their lives.
Yeah, man. It's horrible.
It is horrible.
It's horrible.
I mean, I'll tell you a story. When I was an apprentice, I was in my first year. I was picking a young bloke up every day. Josh Lepardo, his name was. One morning I went to pick him up, didn't come to the front door. He was always usually out there waiting for me. I went off to work after trying to call him a heap of times, and you know, unfortunately, he took his own life that morning in the shower, mate. And that absolutely
rocks you.
It absolutely rocked me, mate. And at that time, I didn't like. There was Oz help, yes, and I sort of spoke to him a little bit, and anyway, I ended up getting things sorted out. But that's not a unique story, unfortunately.
No, it's not. And every time since I did that training that I've spoken to anyone on site about it, they have just stopped and they've dropped their tools and they have given me full attention and listened to my story. And every time I tell my story about the training, I'm trying to plant a seed like let's do this. I really want you to step up and like do that training. But as soon as I finish, they tell me the exact same story that you just told me of someone that they lost in the industry to suicide. And you're like, fuck, like it's sad. And but what's exciting is that everyone has that personal connection to it, and everyone does actually want to make change and try and do better with those sorts of things. And maybe the loss of people's lives is maybe not that it's positive, but maybe the messaging to take out of it, or the flip side is like, we can make change, like we can educate people, we can put people in positions of leadership through the training. So I try to look at that as the positive that's going to come out of it. And I know that the I Got You Foundation is going to do more of the training, and it's free. They put people through the training, and like, you're so well connected. I'd love to collaborate with you and try and get like a bit of a network of people together where it's like, how can we provide funding for this? Can it be something that goes into the RTO, like a registered training organization?
Yeah, we should look at
Let's
that.
call out like POCOC.
Let's start riffing on that and start to put a bit of a framework together.
I think.
But yeah, I want to get the list of those training and mental health places from you. And because I know a lot of people that run into this situation. Like, who do we talk to? In the past, I've directed people to Men's Link, but you know, sometimes I think they top out at late 20s or something like that. So there might look, we do need some support there. We need to keep going.
The other thing I Got You will do is they'll come to site. So like they would come here and they'll do like they'll tell you about their story. They'll come and provide support, and they'll do that to promote mental health conversations in your business. And it's good. Like, the girls are awesome. They're great to be around. Good vibe.
Yeah.
So
I'll say too, on mental health, it always catches up with you. You don't realize you're 100%. In that situation until it's you know, something's it's like bang. You know what I mean? I'm in it.
Yeah.
So,
and that's me personally. Like, that's why I aligned with I Got You, because I was going through mental health issues. Like, I was struggling, and like going through a separation is difficult. And now that I've worked on myself and I have a better relationship with myself, like, I'm thriving. And it's like, if people don't have that toolkit, or they don't have the foresight support network, they don't have, like, my mum's incredible. Like, she was a psychologist. So like, having conversations with her, like, I have the financial capabilities to see a therapist. Like, not everyone has that. So if we can create a support network where people are able to tap into that, maybe we can save lives. Like, maybe people can feel better about themselves.
Yeah, and I'm really happy you brought that up, Jake, and I think we can do some good stuff there, and I'm really excited to work on that stuff with you. And
nice.
If one thing this podcast has done, it's introduced me to some really cool people. Definitely one of them. Mate, I want to get on to better building.
Yes.
We are going to touch back on that stuff, and we're going to have to have a part 2 podcast.
No, we're going to talk off camera and get shit done.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. We'll come back and present.
Yeah, nice.
All right, your take on quality. What's the line between speed and craftsmanship?
Nice. Really good question. Whenever I bring someone on, or whenever I'm training someone, it's like, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So we like, take it slow, man. Like, let's nail it. Like, let's get really good at nailing it. Let's get really high quality work. And then once you nail your systems, and once it clicks, like, there's this clicking point, it's the best. Like, I love it when it clicks for someone, then they're fast. It just happens over time.
They just work it out.
Yeah, they work it out, man. They work it out. It's like, but don't start fast. Like start slow. Like, let's just nail it. Let's do everything properly, and then speed comes from that. So like, you learn your craft slow, and then speed comes. So no pressure on the situation. Just teach them really well.
Yeah, and if you're running a business, take that time to teach the people that you have around you, and I don't know, support them in the way that watch them what they're doing and
Yeah.
give them that breathing room.
Give them the breathing room, give them the responsibility, let them make mistakes. Like they learn from mistakes. Everyone learns from mistakes. So, and fix them. Yeah.
But the best carpenters I've seen and worked with, they never look like they're moving fast.
True.
And the best tradesmen, I should say, actually, they're just working methodically. And it just happens. Like bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I do. That's true. It's true. It doesn't look like they're working hard. They're just getting it done.
Done.
And they know exactly where to and how to execute on things. And it's like, it's good. It's good to see, man.
It is good.
I love getting in a flow on the grinder. It's really good.
What role does education play in the client experience and better results? So when you have a client come to you and they say, Jake, I want you to do my floor.
Yep.
What's the process there? And I'm assuming you educate the clients a fair bit before you start, right?
That's my business model. It's like, how can I inform and educate clients to empower them to make the right decisions for their floor? I've been a part of lack of education and information, and it's not good. So I really try to educate and inform them, and then let them make decisions on what it is that they want to do. So it's the most important thing about onboarding a client to me. So it's like, let's set expectations.
And then set
expectations, and then let's just execute and get it done.
And what are some of the questions you get asked? Like,
questions that we get asked about polished concrete.
Yeah.
Oh man, it ranges from like, what would a question be? It ranges from, to be honest, I usually ask the questions to get them thinking. So like someone will call and say like, I want a polished concrete floor. And I say, okay, so like, what do you know about polished concrete? And then they'll do a bit of a rant. I go, okay, have you looked at a surface polish? Have you looked at a partial exposure? Have you looked at a full exposure? And then like just guide them through it and help educate them. Questions that I might get asked commonly would be around price. That's a pretty common question as well. So just helping educate people on like what's different that Grindstones Reflections does that other people don't do, and why is our price what our price is. So I really want to educate them on why our price is what it is, and why we deliver on what we say we're going to deliver on.
And what does set your business apart?
Our onboarding, our relationships, all of the technicians and operators' relationship with polished concrete, and the love and passion that they have for work as well. So like I'm passionate about polished concrete, right? And I'm passionate, like we do epoxy coatings as well. We do floor preparation. We do like some floor leveling too. And like I'm passionate about it. Like I love it. And you would never expect that your employees would love it like that as well. But they love it. They really love it. And it is,
can I tell you, it is really satisfying to see a slab that's, hasn't been touched, right?
Yeah.
And then say your team go through.
Yeah.
Because I was on that build early with at Frank's house.
Oh yeah, nice.
And and then seeing it actually come through, like, and like
how good is it?
Yeah, I got a text off Frank going, come in and see my floor. Full stop, and like that's the enjoyment you're talking about. Like, that's the pride. Yeah.
That's the pride, but it's not just that. Like we carry a curiosity mindset at work. So we never act like we know everything, because we don't. We're always learning. Like we know a lot and we have a lot of experience, like including Dad. I think we worked out the other day that we had like, what was it like 75 years experience throughout that team. So like we have a lot of experience and we do know quite a lot about it, but we're continually learning, and like the technology is getting better, the diamond tooling is getting better. And so like each stage is fun, and like we're continuing to try and learn and get faster and be better at what we do. So the pride comes every day then, because every time you put on a new set of diamonds, you're like, how can we do this quicker? How can we do this better? Like, how can we innovate? And that's like really exciting.
Well, my next question is about technology and innovation.
True. Yeah. Innovate or die.
Innovate or die. I've seen your updates on your Instagram, mate, and you seem to be flying around everywhere looking at different machines, different ways to do things. Like, what's the driving force there? Like, where are you going to? What's happening?
True. So, I went to World of Concrete in January,
in America?
In Vegas. Yeah. So I did 6 days in Vegas, which was Inspiring. Like that's what it was. It was like inspiration. It was motivation. It was like, look how big our industry is. Look how much money is just getting poured into it right now. And look where we're positioned in the market to execute on that. So that was just like the biggest G up ever. I was like super excited. And like, why wouldn't I travel? Like every time I leave Canberra, it sparks like inspiration and creativity, and it makes me think about my business and think about where I want to go and what I want to do. And I always connect with other leaders in the industry, like the top, the best in the industry, and I learn from them. I directly learn from them. I talk about how I can improve my business. I talk about all aspects of my business, and I've got like a view around the corner of what's coming in the industry right now that no one has.
Well, one of your comments I heard from your trip in Vegas was, we are so far behind in Australia.
Yeah. No, but we are in some aspects, but in the polished concrete industry, we are world leaders.
Oh, really?
Australia is absolutely at the forefront of polished concrete. I've got the Yanks following all of my stuff, and they're reaching out trying to learn off us because the Vanderveen family, which is one of our suppliers, and that's a podcast that I went on a couple of weeks ago, they created the first ever dual drive grinding machine. And the dual drive grinding machine was then sold to Husqvarna. So it was King Concepts originally. We still have one of those. Then Husqvarna bought it for an absolute packet and then sent it worldwide. So that started in Victoria and Melbourne. And they signed like a non-compete with Husqvarna to say that they wouldn't re-enter the industry within, I think it was 5 years. And like 5 years, one day, the new supplier just re-emerged. And when they re-emerged is when I was coming into the industry and starting to like cut my teeth. And so they are like the biggest innovators. And like one line that I love is that like big business kills innovation. Big business kills innovation. And like it does at times because it like the business gets so big that they can't like run fast and do lots of things. But our supplier now can like run fast and get shit done. So they're like always innovating. And then when you're over at the World of Concrete, like they have like the best tooling, and we have like they've just released this new grinder. And out of all the machinery that I tried over there and all the machinery and visits that I've had to other like factories and all the suppliers and everyone that I've talked to, I'm like, I know where my business relationships and ties are going to be strongest, and that's going to be with this company. So it's like really exciting that like just out of Australia, we are literally leading the industry in our floors, and like our floors are like they're banging.
Yeah,
they're beautiful.
It's become so popular.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's really coming to the top of everyone's mind. I want a concrete floor. I mean, I had a conversation probably a couple of months ago, and they had this family had bears and joists, and she just wanted concrete floor, and she's like, "How do I do that?" I'm like, suspended slab and a lot of effort.
Oh, I know. That's funny.
But why do you think why do you think concrete polished floors are so popular?
Aesthetically beautiful, extremely resilient, for a high-end finish, cost-effective. So, like, that's simply put. Like, they are gorgeous. They're like when they're done correctly, they're absolutely stunning, and they're breathtaking. Like you walk in, and so Frank's house, for an example, like it was a beautiful home. It was a large home. It was split level, and it was stunning. But the floor spoke for that house. Like you walk in, and you're like, mate,
it does make the house.
And like the joinery was incredible, and the lighting was like magic, and like the design was really cool, and the kitchen was gorgeous. But like the floor did a lot of talking, and for the price associated with that, bang for buck, man. Like you can't beat polished concrete.
I can't imagine that house without a concrete floor. No. Like I look at that and I think if you put timber through there, it just would not. It would not have felt the way that it did.
Yeah.
Not saying that. I think timber's
beautiful.
Timber is beautiful. I think timber has its place.
Yeah.
You know, I think that certain designs and the way designs are going these days is more around. You know, the polished concrete floor with the, you know, timber look type kitchen. And, you know, you would have seen Future Flip. He's polished concrete, loves that.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I haven't
seen him?
No, I haven't seen him.
Mate, I'll show you his stuff.
True.
He's a concrete nut.
True.
But yeah, he's right on into all the concrete.
Yeah, it's also, it makes sense at the moment, like rather than bringing in other materials, it's like your concrete slab's there. Like, let's work with what's there. Like, we don't need to bring in other things. We can create like an incredible floor out of what's there. And yeah, it's just a really good product. Actually,
you got the bag of tricks.
Yeah, I got a bag of tricks. I brought this. This sits in my office up on my little shelf. And can the camera see that? This sits in the, I don't know if it can or not. So that sits on my little shelf. And this is pretty much how I could explain the polishing process to someone. So that's what we call a grout ball. When we're grouting our floor and filling all the pinholes and filling all the voids in the concrete, you get a waste, and the waste that comes off is the material that you're removing from like the actual slab. It binds with an acrylic water-based compound that we put down, and this is the excess balls that haven't pushed into holes. When you get this ball though going and this comes out from behind the machine, you know that you've been pumping out some good meters and you're doing a good job. So anyway, this ball's come out, and like look at that closely. You see all the little balls?
Yeah.
So that's just like compacted under the machine. You feel how hard that is, right? It's like a rock. So then this is, it turns into like calcium hydroxide, which is a byproduct of cement going hard. So you get calcium hydroxide left over from the cement curing, and then we get our acrylic and our waste that combines together, and then we get our densifiers, so silicates, and they go in and they create a calcium silicate hydrate, which is why this is so hard. So like every hole like is incredible.
They're normally really small, aren't they?
Yeah, they're normally really.
This is just rolled.
No, that's like 1 million of them.
Yeah.
See those tiny little balls there?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like 1 million of them that fill every hole in the floor, and that's what we fill the surface of the concrete with. And so like by the time we leave a 32 MPa slab or a 25 MPa slab, it might be like around 70 MPa. It's like we're creating like, mate.
Yeah,
it's gold, brother. So this is sick. I love this. It feels harder than a base. Like, it's really, really hard.
That's rock hard, yeah.
And so people love polished concrete because it's extremely resilient and because it's beautiful. Yeah. It's
there forever.
I love it, man.
Yeah. Mate, I do too. I honestly do too. I've read, and I think that the scientific aspect of the polishing,
it's so good.
It's not just run a grinder over,
no,
throw a bit of polish on.
No,
like it's way more than that.
We do like 10, 11 pass system. So for our high end polishing,
and that's you're going up the grit levels.
We're going up the grit levels. Yeah. So it's like I'll just give you like a real quick rundown because like I'm on a roll. So it's like you do your aggregate exposure first cut. You do a refining pass with the grouting compound, the water-based acrylic. You do a secondary grouting pass, and then you just bomb it with silicates. And there's different silicates. There's like sodium, potassium, lithium, and then colloidal silicates. And then you transition up. So every pass you do, you're just refining and removing the scratch pattern from the previous pass. So then it's like 50, 100, 200, 400, 1500, 3000. Seal buff.
Good to go.
Good to go, man. All right, that's
it in a nutshell.
That's it, mate. That's polished concrete. So it's no joke, and like people think that they're getting a polished concrete floor, but sometimes that's like just dust monkeys doing like a grind and seal, which is like a 2-pass system with a topical sealer, and that's
not polished concrete.
That's not polished concrete, and that is what we want out of the industry, and we want everyone in the industry who does polished concrete to execute and do beautiful, high quality floors and have really good relationships with their clients and leave the client really satisfied and happy with the experience that they've had. Because for every one polished concrete floor that gets done properly, we're going to get another 3. Every single polished concrete floor that they have a negative relationship with the experience, they're not going to do it again. And someone's going to walk in and be like, what's that scratch in the floor? Or like, why aren't the edges done properly? Why are the edges lighter? Why are the internal corners not done? And like, that's why I position myself as someone who's open and honest and transparent. And I do that with our competitors as well. I'm like, how can we bring them up? And like, how can I be like a leader in the industry so that everyone's doing better quality work so that it becomes more prevalent and everyone wants to do polished concrete? Yeah. So yeah, it's fucking sick.
I'm getting G'd up talking to you, honestly.
You want to fucking polish your floors? And that's why we are polished concrete specific company. Not like I get asked every week, do you want to pour the slab? Do you want to pour the slab? And I'm like, no, I don't want to pour the slab. Like we have the best company culture because we're not in the mud pouring concrete. Like we all love polished concrete. They are 2 completely different things. And it's like we work with the best concreters around Canberra. So like anyone who is like all the best concreters in Canberra, we have relationships with them where it's like they know exactly how to put the concrete in for us. We have a comprehensive concrete pourer's guide for polished concrete. And then we have relationships with these like incredible architects or incredible designers, and we get to help them through the onboarding process before the slab even starts, but they get to specialize in their field. and then we specialize in our field. And so it's like, I don't want to step on people's toes or like go into competition with, say, like my best mate who runs a concreting company or like all these other incredible concreters. I'm like, let them do what they do best, and we're just going to execute on what we do best. So yeah, it's cool. And it's really cool getting to work with like high quality craftsmen. So yeah, it's awesome.
There are some good concreters in Canberra.
Mate, they're bangers. They're everywhere, mate. They work so hard.
They do.
I know. I love them.
They deserve a beer, actually.
Mate, they deserve a beer, mate. Get on the beers and hit the bloody Brecky's laptop, mate.
Mate, we're going to change it up again. We're going to talk about business and leadership now. Jake, what is your leadership style like day to day?
Ooh. It's just a reflection of who I am. It's like I'm open, I'm honest, I'm transparent. Shit, man.
It's an interesting question, and what I want to try and do is, I guess, get you to think about, you know, how, like, you've already basically answered the question. You're super positive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to bring everyone up.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put all the time into people. And
is
that a conscious thing that you're trying to do? And you want to lead from the front?
It is conscious, but what I actually do, and this sort of comes back to having kids as well. And when I had kids, I went on a deep dive on like how to be a good dad, and it was really interesting to learn about like intrinsic motivation compared to extrinsic. So how can I build a fire in someone and create passion in them to want to do good work as well? And it's so funny because I was just in Bali and I was trying to scale like a Balinese worker and their culture and how they work compared to like a high-end performance culture in Australia. And I was trying to work out where we were like on that scale. And I was like, in Bali, man, they're walking around with like sticks with like a leaf on it, like sweeping. And I'm like, get a blower out. Like we can improve productivity by 10x right now. And where my company landed on that scale was, and this comes back to being a leader and how I am as a business owner, is when they come in, if anything, I sort of like over cuddle and like baby them a little bit. It's like, I know this is a one-man job, but I'll send 2 people, and it's like, I'll educate them and I'll inform them. And it's like, I give them as much as I can as a leader. Like I tell them everything, like have everything. And a point comes for them, it's like that clicking point as well, where they go like, no, we don't need 2 people on the job. Like I've got this. Like, I'm capable of doing this. They're like, I'm sick of I don't need this person here right now. And so like, you're creating this drive and intrinsic motivation in them to want to do well and want to grow and want to be better. And so like now when I'm not at work, like I know the boys are working now and I have zero, I know they're going to do an incredible job. And that's because they are motivated internally to do the right thing and they're proud of their work. So I lead by example. I lead by trying to be the best person I can be. And I think that then reflects onto the boys as well, and they do the same thing.
Yeah, I think it rubs off on them.
It rubs off, mate.
Yeah.
It does. It's crazy. Yeah.
And I'm sure they want to do a good job for you as well, you know?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Any lessons that came from really hard moments you want to share?
Oh, I did touch on like that separation briefly before. I'll tell a really funny story about the Belconnen markets. That was like a hard one for me. Well, it wasn't that hard, but it was just funny. We went into the Belconnen markets and we'd signed like one contract and we're going in to do 600. It was about 600 square meters, and that was like pretty early on. That was like sort of like a couple of years ago. And we'd done all the grinding, we'd done all the cleaning, and all we had to do was seal the floor. And a big storm was coming, but it was all internal, so it didn't matter. And they had these, man, it was funny. They had these like automated window systems so that when the rain comes, it shuts, and when there's no no bad weather, it will open up. And we'd sealed about 570 square meters of this slab, and this massive and this massive storm comes over, and it's just pissing down, and it's just like belting up against the windows, and the windows are shut at this point, and then the automated windows just go and it just opened up the windows and just dropped like a good 100 liters of water straight onto the slab, and like the seal is all wet. And we're standing there, and there's a project manager next to me. One of the investors was there as well, and then one of the blokes from site, and they're standing there. And I just turn and look at him, And like, this is like the worst moment for me right now. Like, this is a big job. I just turn and look at her. I'm like, someone's going to have to pay for that. And it gets so much better. And so I'm standing there and it's just completely ruined like all the concrete. And I've like just walked off and just sort of like sat there for a little bit. And I was like, all right, like we're out of here. And the next day we came back and we got a chalk line and just flicked a line and then ground to it, removed it, recoated that single spot, which was about 100 square meters, and then coated straight on top of it later that afternoon and got the project handed over on time, like exactly how they wanted to do it. And I did it before we'd shook hands on being paid the money. I was like, let's just get this done. Like, don't beat around the bush. Like, just get it done. And we won 27 more tenancies in there.
That's fantastic.
Off them. They're like, we got another 7 for you straight away. And so like the lesson in that is like bad shit happens, but we're just open, we communicate. It's like just get it done, be resilient to things like that. Don't bitch and whinge and scream and moan and blah, 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 blah. Like, let's
No problems, just solutions.
Yeah, solutions, man.
I'm going this way. You coming or not?
Yeah. So that was so good. That was like the best. I loved it. Yeah, it's fun.
Someone's going to have to pay it.
Yeah. Someone's gonna have to
timing
pay
on
it. Yeah. It was awesome.
And how do you avoid burnout? Now, you were talking about being resilient, being mindful.
I think we touched on that earlier. It's just having that balance and like prioritizing other things in my life that aren't business.
Yeah. And your kids.
My kids, man. I love my kids. I have an incredible relationship with my kids and I get to spend a lot of time with them when I have them that 50-50. I do drop-offs, I do pickups, and they've given me this new like mindset and outlook on life that like it's okay not to be a perfectionist. And like, it's okay to just be silly and like, you don't have to take things so seriously. I never liked artwork. I didn't like drawing. I didn't like painting because I was always so self-critical. And now I love it. Like we did these canvases together. And it was like as abstract as it gets. And like, I would never sit down and do like an hour of artwork, like if it was just me, but with the kids, like that's just something that you do. And now I find so much joy in doing artwork, like in painting, in like drawing, and just like coloring things in and just doing all of this random stuff. And I don't have the judgment attached to it. And then I've now taken that mindset into my business as well. Like, let's just throw it at the wall. Like, who cares what they think on social media? Like, let's try this new product. Like, let's do this new thing. And that's like, it's sort of, it's freeing to not be so self-critical all the time. And the same thing with that intrinsic motivation with having kids is my kids, like they say, like, back yourself.
Yeah.
And they're 5 and 3. Like, they're like, back yourself. And I'm like, yeah.
It's always funny, like, you have a bad day or you come home, you're like, oh, you know, that was a tough one. And they don't care. They're like, oh, come and look at this painting, Daddy. Come and look at this. Come and look at that. You know, just straight into you. And, like, it's almost like when I get home and they're straight into me and they want to wrestle and all that sort of stuff, it's like, nothing else matters.
No, it doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter.
And, like, this is why I'm doing it.
How old did you say your kids were?
Eli's 2, Arthur is 4, turning 5.
Yeah, so. that's good. It's such an interesting age, man.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm excited for you. And it's
a juggle and it's a struggle. It's a juggle. But we love it.
Yeah, but you love it. I have spoken to a lot of people in the industry who are older than me who didn't have who weren't around for their kids as much as they like to be. And so I've made a real commitment that, and like they have said, like, I wish that I was there more for my kids. Or when I've said to them, sorry, I can't be at the job at 7 a.m. because I'm doing school drop-offs, but I'll be there from 9:30. And they go, that's great.
Yeah, and just being open and honest.
Yeah, but how good's that? They're like, that's
fantastic.
great. They're so supportive of the fact that I want to be present with my kids and I want to do those things. And so, like, big hats off to people in the industry who are there to support you to do that as well. It's really good.
Definitely. But I sometimes think that, you know, there is this stigma around construction that is like, you know, oh, I've got to take the kids, like, don't tell anyone that. It's my responsibility type thing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's that old school type mentality a little bit.
Man, I'm so detached from giving a fuck about the old school mentality. No, I'm serious. I couldn't care less. Like, I'm me. Like, I'm just not interested in it. Like, it's not a part of our culture. Like, people can just be who they want to be. And I hope that more people can be like that. Like you really want people to feel aligned with who they are, and you want them to feel comfortable and just let them do their thing. It's like
that's how they have confidence in themselves.
Correct.
That's how they back themselves. You know, if you're working in a work environment that is, you know, you make a mistake, you're gone. That's not a work environment that produces innovation or creativity. You know, that's not a supportive environment. You're not going to get the best out of your guys or the people you're working with if that's the environment, you know.
Yeah.
I think that communication is really that key there, you know, and what you're saying. Like, yeah, I'm sure if, you know, I guess the situation I'm trying to talk about is someone that, say, had to take their kids but didn't feel comfortable saying to a client, hey, I've got to drop my kids off.
Oh, true.
You'd have just shown, hey, look,
No,
I'm on drop off and
yeah,
hey,
people
I'll
love
be
it.
there straight afterwards.
Yeah, no, people love open communication. They just like, yeah, man, anything can go wrong on site. You just say it.
Be yourself. Be honest.
Just be honest. Just like drop the bullshit, man. Just tell people what's going on and just do your best to fix it. Like it's the construction industry. So your culture is really good. Like working with your boys was really good. So
thanks, mate.
It's interesting. I enjoy being around companies like that. And yeah, you can really feel it. And it's something that I strive to push towards for my company as well.
Look, we do hold a high standard, and you've got to have that standard there. And that standard is around do your best.
Yeah.
You know, and communicate and talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky, that one.
No, I shouldn't have touched it.
But yeah, I want to support my guys. Like this morning, you know, there's a guy going through a tough time, and you know, I said, mate, take the rest of the week off.
Nice.
And, you know, go and have a shower, take yourself out for breakfast, and you know, and sometimes, you know, there's breakups that happen. There's, you know, deaths in families that happen, and I feel like you need to look back at, like, if you're a leader and you're the business owner and you're responsible, like, how would, like, if you're in that person's position, how would you want to be treated?
Correct.
Because I can tell you in the early days when I was working, it was you work 7 till 5 every single day. Yeah. And, you know, I remember asking to go to I had to leave at 4:30 one day to go to the bank, and they were like, oh, may as well leave at lunchtime, mate.
Yeah.
It's like,
get out of it.
You know, like, I'm working 6 days a week for you as an apprentice. Like,
plus,
the bank's not open.
Yeah. And
outside
plus,
of those times.
It's really important that people feel appreciated.
It is.
It is. I always wanted to feel appreciated. Like, whether that's like being needy or whatever it is, I don't really care. Like, I always was like, I'm here working really hard right now. Like, all I need is like a thank you or something. Like, man. Yeah. It goes really far.
It does go really far, and I try and make a conscious effort. You know, when people leave in the afternoon, to say, "Look, thanks for today, mate. Thanks, thanks for today." You know, it is important just to show that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's showing respect.
It's respect.
Yeah,
it is.
Because I also make a conscious effort not to say that someone works for me. I always say we work together.
Yeah,
you know, because you know, without. I do feel like we work together, and it has to be a collaborative effort when we're going in this direction, you know?
Yeah. No, it's awesome. That's good.
But I want to do a bit of a deep dive on some projects on your Instagram.
Oh, true. I got a good random spread.
It's always cool to look through people's Instagram. I'm so happy we've got this feature.
Yeah. My idea of Instagram or socials at the moment is like I'm throwing a few things to the wall and seeing what sticks. I've got a bit of an understanding on what's working, what's not working, but I also just love it. It's just fun to do.
It is fun.
Yeah, like I do 90% of our socials. Like all the good quality videography, which is sort of hard to tell, but so like those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like pretty much all of those I've done apart from the podcast, and then I'll get contractors in to get good quality footage every now and then, like that teaser reel.
This one here?
Yeah, that's
Should we have a look at that?
Yeah, have a look at it. There's no sound, is there?
We can.
House.
This is a recent project with Classic Constructions.
That's a sick floor.
That's
these beautiful polished
grey,
concrete floors.
and that's a Cara core. It's 100%
But this house truly is.
It's got a little bit of a spread of other stuff.
So incredible.
That's what that sort of mixes, which is quite similar to.
Timeless look back.
Oh, it's
Come and have a look
really nice home. That
at
door
this
is.
house.
This is there's two. That's Mega Flora. That's just some of the finishes that they've.
These guys?
Yeah, man. Like, look at this. They do like all these incredible custom builds. Dan Fitzpatrick, he's awesome. You can feel their company culture as well. You can really feel it. And like, this house is one of a kind. It is. really incredible. I thought I'd just chuck that up to show people the sort of leaders that we're working with. And we did a custom mix design on that, and it is apricot coloured floor. It's all red.
Really?
Yeah, red with custom hand-seated mix, and that looks really cool too. So yeah, socials is good. Check that one out on the left with the snow. All right, that's like the love of my life. That's our Cracking Back project. It's been going since concept, like pretty much since I started the business, like 2 or 3 weeks into the business, and it came from just a random phone call while we're up in Jindabyne.
Yeah.
1,000 square meter residential private home off grid, 700 square meters or close to 700 square meters of internal polished concrete. Every single bathroom and wet area is set down and then waterproofed and then poured. So we've done the same finishes in all of the bathrooms as well, but to a non-slip finish. And then all external finishes are honed pavilion finish concrete. And if you see the 300, that drop edge, that's 300 mil, and we've exposed all the aggregate around all of the whole perimeter of the whole job too, and then put a bullnose finish on it as well. So that'll all get done soon. We'll go and do a third pass on all of that, and then put on our external sealer. So that's
impressive.
I think it's close to a $10 million build.
Really?
It is. Like the windows are 3.7 meters tall. They're triple glazed from Italy. The kitchen is like custom stone, all made from Italy. I'll drive to Jindabyne on the 1st of August, and we're going to do full content day. Perfect. Yeah, it's a banger.
I'm looking forward to
It's
that.
so good.
Yeah, this is just beautiful. That.
Yeah, it's nice. That's cool. Yeah, there's some definite bangers. I throw up all sorts of stuff.
I loved your airport update. I was like, that's such a great idea.
Yeah,
You know?
See, there's that red floor finding some gems. Like, so that's a single stone.
That is so cool.
And that stone is not look at that, man. Oh, you wait till you see this joint. It's a banger. Yeah, so cool. And we're so blessed to work with, like, we've onboarded 6 new builders in the last 2 months. So we're getting like Mega Flora is, oh yeah, look at that one. Yeah, that was our pool package with you guys. That was so funny. We're like aligning with what I would consider some of the absolute top builders in Canberra at the moment.
Well, you're doing top work, mate. So they go together.
It's sick. It's so sick.
And there's enough work in Canberra.
There's enough work, man. There's plenty of work to do. And the thing that we do well is we retain our client base. It's like every new person that comes on, we're going to get more work from them in the future, because everyone's happy with the work that we do and the relationships that we build. So hopefully it just compounds, and we can continue to.
That's Frank's floor we've been talking about.
Yeah, a bit of a banger, eh?
That's an absolute. Yeah.
I love that house.
Beautiful.
It is
absolutely beautiful.
So nice.
So warm, yeah,
it's cool.
So warm.
The Tuggeranong skate park. That's probably one of the ones that I'm proudest of. That's Cracking Back as well. To the right, both of those ones are.
There he is.
Oh no,
our Cracking Back project.
Oh no, but this is a sunken.
The kids, so
you're walking us through this.
All internals are finished, but
so I can actually talk you through it a little bit. What I'm about to say is that this is a sunken fireplace. It's
stage 4.
It was designed by Red Blue Architects, which is a Sydney design firm, and they're incredible. And that's done in 5 different pours. So we're exposing absolutely everything, bullnosed every single edge. We go down and do it in stages, and that's a sunken fireplace. So
the detail,
mate, it's that wicked. It's so good. Look at all the curves. We've done every single finish on
and the drainage in there,
drainage.
Like
look at that.
Yeah,
so cool.
For people that aren't, I guess, construction nerds, like, the little things you want to look out for is, how does water get away from there?
Yeah.
What are the finishes?
That's why the Cracking Back project is so cool, because everything that I learned over the last 13 or 14 years had to go into play. So there's all these little tips and tricks that you need for creating falls around perimeters, and that joint is spot on. Everything we've touched in there is has turned to gold. So it's so cool, and the boys have stepped up big time on that job, and they've just been pumping it out. So that's all really
it's so
nice. And Tuggeranong Skate Park. That was
Tuggeranong Skate. We're down a bit here.
Yeah, the Tuggeranong Skate Park was really cool. It was interesting.
There we are. Right here.
Yeah, that's just like the rolling of it. We priced the War Memorial at the same time as the Tuggeranong skate park, and I went in for a post-tender interview, and I was in there for nearly an hour and a half, and I put forward all these suggestions on how we wanted to approach the job, and every single suggestion was just denied. and well, I honestly was like, we're still going to win it. I think we're going to win this project. But at the same time, I did the Tuggeranong skate park, and they were both kicking off at the exact same time. And the day after the post-tender interview, I got on a flight and went to Tasmania to spend some time with my brother, and my dad went as well. And it was day 2 in Tasmania, and we got like a email for an addenda based on new schedule and scope of works. And I was like, you just didn't listen to a single thing I said. And I passed in tender. And that day we won the Tuggeranong skate park, and it was like the best job that we've ever been a part of. It was incredible. It was like nearly 450 square meters of vertical ramps that we had to hand grind.
That's sick.
But we did it in 11 days, and it was a huge project, and we just like absolutely executed on it. And that was like one of those like split moments where we could have ended up at the War Memorial, which would have been like, that was a really difficult project. There was a lot of shit going on, and like the silica requirements and like access, and it was all night work. But we ended up just like jagging the skate park, and like I had a ball there, and I was like, yes. Yeah.
So talking about your business, like what's working well for you at the moment?
Oh, I don't know. Everything's a learning curve. We're just doing our best. The culture's really good. Everyone loves their job.
Everyone's passionate.
We're aligning with the right people. We have good connections now, and we're sort of like solidified as someone who's trustworthy and who can get the job done. So
I'm a strong believer in positivity attracts positivity. And I feel like you're exuding this, no problems, only solutions attitude. And, you don't seem to have taken a backward step. And I feel like everyone's seeing that and going, I can go to Jake Plunkett and Grindstones and I can get a fantastic result because, he does a good job and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe. I think so. I think you would go through it as well. Like you start to create relationships in like the Canberra area, and you start to click with people, and like it's fun and exciting, and it's like really enjoyable. Like the people you've had on this podcast, man, like I want to work with every single one of them.
Yeah.
Like it's sick. Like they're just good people, like good humans, like doing the best they can do with work. Like they have good cultures in their companies. They're exciting to be around. And it's like, fuck, man, how good's this? Like what's not to be excited about? So yeah.
And that, I get going back. I say it every podcast. It's what this is about. Like
it's dope,
putting
man.
positivity in construction and highlighting people that are really having a go and that are, doing fantastic work in the capital.
Yeah.
Because, it's unfortunate that good news travels so slowly.
Bad news just goes.
It does,
mate. It's crazy.
But we've got to fight the good fight. What are the challenges that you're going through at the moment, work-wise?
Work-wise challenges would be like filling out the schedule. Like we're not always like 100% busy. It's like because we're niching hard with polished concrete, and that's exactly what we want to do. It's like getting more builders on board, and like like a builder who loves polished concrete might only do like 3 or 4 homes a year. So it's like just trying to have back to back polished concrete work, and that's one of those things where sometimes you might be like, oh, maybe we should stray and do other work. But I've made like the internal commitment to be like, no, like we'll do epoxy, we'll do like those other things that I mentioned earlier because they're so aligned with what we do, and it's like we're really good at it and it's easy to do it. But it's like just making that commitment to like what you want to do, where you want to take the business. So like rather than like going and changing it up and trying to do all sorts of different things, just like focus on like go and start making calls, bro. Like go and start winning builders. Yeah. So
get on the front foot.
Yeah, get on the front foot. Yeah.
And where are you going to with the business? What's the grand plan? Are you looking to build it up? Are you looking to, is there a goal that you have in mind?
Yeah, I want to bring the boys up who have been there for the last couple of years, who have like made a full commitment to the business. Like the longer people are with the company, the more opportunities they're going to get. So I see a world where Tom and Eric are onboarding new people and training them, and where they step up and start to do other things in the business. So I'm not in a rush to grow, because I want to grow like pretty like organically and make sure that I have a hold of everything that happens. But I feel like it's just gonna happen. We're gonna continue to grow, push into doing more commercial work, which we've got some sick jobs that we've got verbal confirmation on at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
The old verbal
The old
confirmation.
verbal,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, shh.
Yeah. I'll get you on the next one.
Yeah. So verbal confirmation on that. But yeah, we'll organically and slowly just grow as we need to. It's cool because I can just tap in and like be a bit of a leverage play. So like as long as the boys are pumping out polished concrete floors and like I'm bringing in work, and then like big jobs pop up and I can like go in and like get on the tools more and more and more. So
You love being on the tools?
love it, mate.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's so hard. Like, I don't get to get on the tools that much anymore, but I see the boys out there just having the best time,
Yeah,
I'm just like, oh.
It's funny, like what reignited my passion was bringing other people into the company, because like I got to a stage where I wasn't enjoying being on the tools all the time, just like negative feedback loops behind the machine. But like teaching other people, and then now being in that culture and environment that I've like created and they've been a part of creating as well, is like, it's exciting and it's fun. So I love getting in there with the lads.
One of my biggest passions is seeing you teach someone something, and then seeing them do it, and then they get confident, and then they
they teach someone else.
They teach someone else, or they come back to you and go, "Hey, I found this cool way to do this. This is, what do you think about this? Like, that's actually way better than
True.
I've even
Okay,
seen.
so that encapsulates our company culture. That is what happens daily with us. It's like because it's really technical and like every slab's different. So like it's constantly improving, and they're like, "Oh no, I'll do it like this." I'm like, "Bro, he's doing it better than how I do it."
Yeah, that's fantastic to see.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's sick.
One of the topics I speak about with everyone is inspiring the next generation.
Yeah.
Now, getting more young people into construction and getting more people across to construction. I think, what's your take on that? How do we get more people in construction?
I think we're sort of like skirted around it and touched on it, but like creating that culture where people want to be a part of it, showcasing our pride towards our work is important. Let's be honest, like shit goes viral.
It does, yeah.
So like show your passion and your enthusiasm, and maybe someone will think about doing it as well. Creating an open culture, creating a happy workplace so that people look in and go, I want to be a part of that.
I think, Jake, you're a good example as well. You don't have to do a trade. There are avenues you can go into construction and you can learn, you might not start out on the absolute best money, but you still, I guess with what you're doing, you would have still done an apprenticeship type thing, and you would have worked, brought your skill right up.
Yeah. So like you start slow and build up, and eventually you have an understanding of it. But yeah, there's no like actual certificate. There's one certification in Queensland, but there's no like real formal education and training around it. Yeah,
but I guess, attracting more people into the trade or into construction, I should say. Mm-hmm. There's so many different avenues you can go down.
It's huge, and you can come in as an apprentice and you can put in your time. And, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, you might be running like a huge company with hundreds of employees across all of Australia. And like people do that. Like people can make a lot of money. People, if they want to, they can strive to do things like that, or they can be in a really good culture where they love their job, where they're not having to go home thinking about all of the possible negative things that can happen with the business. But like, there's a lot of room to like do lots of different things in the industry. And like, just because you start on the tools doesn't mean that 3 years from now you're going to be in the tools. You could be helping run a business. You could be a manager. You could be doing all sorts of things. So lots of room to jump around and do lots of different things in the industry.
As long as you're going to find that passion, I think.
You gotta love it.
You've got that passion. I can see you got it in spades, mate.
and I'm on a journey, man, and that like Grindstones Reflections is a huge part of my journey. It's like I love it. So
yeah. It shows who you work, dude. We're gonna move on to
look at that. That's when I had hair, mate.
Oh, over here.
Yeah, I had to detach. That was
this one or this one?
That one there. That was like I had like you can see I was balding. And I like got back from Vegas. It was February 7th. It was the day I quit drinking as well. Shave the
It's
head.
just
Shave the
made
head.
me that
Threw away
I'm
the
not
ice. Went and did a big
snakes,
breathwork
just
session, and it's been
the world of concrete.
uphill
and ups.
ever since.
Up and ups.
Seminar.
That's fantastic.
Funny.
My ambitions are to.
Well, we're going to jump into the quick fire round.
All right, let's see how I go. I'm not. Yeah, we'll see.
Jake, what's one tool you can't live without on site?
It sounds crazy, but it's AirPods.
AirPods.
Mate, I stay connected to my clients. I can run my business and I can take in like a plethora of information at all times. If it wasn't my AirPods, because like that's not really like.
Nah, mine's a radio. I need a
is it?
radio. Yeah.
Oh,
I need
AirPods, and I can
you know,
stick with that.
you
The
can
other
stick
thing
with
is like I just need like my big grinder, man. Like I
Yeah.
need like one of the 680s, the 820 big blocks, and I just want to munch that concrete.
What's the biggest myth or misconception about building or polished concrete?
Oh, biggest myth is that it's easy to do. Like some people are like, oh, we'll just get them to polish the floor, like a couple of cuts and put a sealer on. Like that's not polished concrete. It's super technical. Another myth is like people think that it's expensive, and like I truly don't think it's expensive. Like for the product that you get, it's not expensive at all. So I think that's yeah.
What are
bit
you
of a
going to
myth.
compare it to?
Well, that's the thing. Like you
You know.
compare, like if you've got like a cheap vinyl or something like that, maybe it's expensive, but or like a cheap tile. But when you're looking at like the aesthetic, the quality, the like how long it's gonna last for, like it is extremely cheap. Like it's a really good quality product. So yeah,
Yeah, and it's a high.
get it out, brother. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go. It's a high.
It's a high class, like
High-end finish.
High end finish.
It is,
That's
yeah.
what
It's
I was
luxury, mate.
It's
It's
luxury.
like, it's top of the line, and it comes in at like a well priced product. So yeah.
If you could fix one thing in the industry tomorrow, what would it be? Oh, did it? Yeah. We're at an hour and a half.
True. We better wrap the bitch up. So what's the best advice? So the best advice that I've received in the industry is sometimes like really simple things. I don't think advice clicks until you live through it though. So like you might get advice off someone, but one really good piece of advice was actually from Paul Tills. He's like an architect and he's like renowned for his polished concrete finishes. And we did 58 Cleanthus Street with Mindam, Dim and Mark. And after he saw the floor, he said, it's so simple. He was like, if you continue to do finishes like that and answer your phone, you're going to be very successful. And I was like, yeah, that's sick.
Great.
Just keep doing good work and answer your phone. Yeah, like let's do it. I got lots of advice over the years, but yeah, that's so funny that one just popped up and came into my mind.
Yeah. What advice would you give your younger self, Jake?
Younger self, I would not give myself, to me personally, I wouldn't give myself any advice because every fuck up and everything that's ever happened to me, I am appreciative of, and it's got me to where I am right now. I would give other people advice. I would say, think about what your priorities are, learn as much stuff about yourself as you can, and really back yourself and choose something challenging to do, and just like go for gold, man.
Go for gold.
Yeah,
Love that.
an interesting thing too is like giving yourself advice from a future self. Have you ever heard of that before?
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, so like advice that I'd give myself right now is to continue on the path that you've aligned with, which is like prioritizing your health, your business, and your kids, because really good things will come.
Take care of yourself, and it'll take care of you.
Yeah.
What keeps you grounded outside of work?
I think I've answered this one, but it's my kids, man. My kids, the gym, the balance that I have, and my relationship with work as well. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Shout out to someone who is in and around construction that should come on the podcast or doing good stuff.
Yeah, cool. Like I've probably got a couple, but one that I would love to see on here who has been inspiring to me is Rob Paragali from Rep Building. He would be so interesting to deep dive on things with because he came through old school culture and then has created and just put like this massive dent in the Canberra market for high-end homes, and he has created this whole new culture that you can feel, and he's been like absolute inspiration to me, and been someone who like I have these sorts of conversations with quite regularly, and he's just like, he's dialed in, man. He's incredible, and he's doing a lot of like giving back to the community a lot now as well, and the way that he runs his business is like super interesting to me.
I'll have to get his details off you.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with him, yeah, for sure. And then also I'd get Madison from Complex AU. So they were Complex Civil, but Complex AU now, and he knows how to run a job site. He's just got this like demeanor in him where you just want to do really good things for him. And same thing, you can feel the culture in their company. It's like he doesn't put pressure on you, but he's extremely clever, and he creates like that intrinsic motivation where you're just like, I just want to fucking nail this job for this guy. Yeah, so he'd be really good to talk to as well.
Fantastic. Where can people get in touch with you, Jake? Find out about if they want to polish floor. What do we do?
I always enjoy having a phone conversation first. Like, let's like have a chat over the phone, and then our onboarding process from there is really quick and simple. So it's like, I'll send you a link. It's like you fill out your details, and then it's just like bang, you're in the system, and we're like off to the races.
Yep. And your numbers on your Instagram?
Yeah. So there it is.
Perfect.
You can go and have a look at our website, have a look at our Instagram. We got a little bit of stuff on TikTok, but mostly it's just
I'll have a link in the description of the video as well, and I'll be putting all your handles and everything too. So
yeah, nice. That's cool.
Favorite quote to finish off the episode?
Ooh, favorite quote is, let me try and nail this one. It's this is Tim Ferriss, I think it was. Success in life can be measured. Okay, here it is. So your success in life can usually be measured by the amount of uncomfortable conversations you are unwilling to have. So your success in life can be measured by the amount of uncomfortable conversations that you are unwilling to have. So I sort of shit the bed on that.
Dude, I love Tim Ferriss, man.
He's so good. I love Tim Ferriss. And that quote is like, if you have issues, like, let's talk about it. And it's like, you can do anything. You can do anything in life if you're open to like having the conversation or working on it. And like, that could be conversations in the industry, just with people, with your relationship with people. Like, let's get the shit on the table, let's work through it, and let's move forward. Yeah. Or discipline equals freedom. Is dope, which links to Tom Henderson's like, the creativity likes boundaries. I think that's a really cool quote too. Yeah, it's like discipline equals freedom, baby.
Jake, I feel like we've only scratched the surface here, and I've really enjoyed this conversation with you, mate.
Yeah,
thanks so much for coming in.
Cheers, man. Thank you very much.